texted Malcolm today regarding their discussion they had in the latest episode about what they call listeners of the Seinfuck podcast. It was like Seinfuckers or Seinfuckians or something like that. I'm sure all are decent, but I like to keep it simple. It's easy. My suggestion is Seinfucks. You're a bunch of Seinfucks. You know, I'm a Seinfuck. And then the rest of us are Seinfucks. I don't know. I think it's a good one. Yeah. It's simple and straightforward. It's not verbose, pedantic, or excessive. Unnecessary words, you know.
Jerry!
Seinfuck.
I genuinely don't want to put you guys off here. What is some of the most traumatic advice you've ever received?
Traumatic advice?
Traumatic advice. Oh my God.
Wait, dramatic or traumatic?
Traumatic. Something that's struck you as very true and very hurtful that you hate that you agree with.
Oh.
I mean, most of that came from my dad. I'm going to be completely honest. I love my dad.
Yeah, same.
But he just has the voice.
my dad was great. My dad was a cool guy, as we've established on this podcast.
Yeah. It's him smoking stogies,
Yeah,
you
his
know.
friends called him gay. Yeah.
Cut that out.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's that I fancy myself an artist. I figure drawer, a character artist, and I uploaded my art to a forum at one time and asked for criticism. And of course, they were more than happy to give it to me after I asked 3 different times, to which they replied verbatim, "Shut up, no one likes your shit."
Oh.
And I asked him, well, why not? He said, first of all, your lines are weak, your shit looks stupid, and your characters all have the chong bong eyes, whatever the fuck that means.
What does that mean?
Yeah, that sounds like weirdly racist.
It's racist, right?
That sounds racist.
But I've never heard anybody use this expression before in my life. What the fuck did he mean by chong bong eyes, right?
The man just invented his own slur.
I'm looking at the fucking drawing and I'm like, oh my God.
He's right.
He has chong bong eyes.
Oh, no.
Oh, I mean, we did talk about this the other day when we were doing our workshop. Is the pedestrian comment I got one time?
Oh yeah.
Tell the story, because not to tell it on the podcast.
Well, okay. So I was doing a paper for a class while I was in college, and we at the end of this sort of class, because it was like a week-long assignment. It was supposed to be like condensing a lot of stuff in only like 500 words. Fair, pretty common, creative writing course assignment. And at the end of it, we brought our everything into the class, and we were told to just swap our projects around and get feedback from the people around us, everything to the right of us. And so I handed my paper to her, to this girl who, let's just say she had dyed hair.
Oh.
And
Dyed like brunette?
yeah, I think you know the answer to that question, Harper.
The question is, will I respect her?
No, thank you, Mr. Peterson. Thank you for chiming in there.
I'm not playing.
Guest on the podcast, Jordan Peterson, everybody.
He's back on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, that's so awesome. There's a poll. At the time of recording, Donald Trump is considering to be reinstated on Twitter via
It's probably going to be reinstated.
via a poll that Elon Musk has. He says, I'll bring him back. I don't give a fuck. I'm going nuclear. I'm sorry. Go ahead with your. You said that you handed.
Oh yeah. So I handed her my piece. I reviewed the guy's piece next to me. It was fine. He had something. I think he had something about like the mafia or something like that. Some sort of like hearkening back to like old fables of like mythical fables, but like in a more modern setting. Kind of interesting, but
It's like American Godson.
Yeah, a little bit, but like not actually really based on anything, just sort of like is. Hope he's doing okay.
Did you take pictures of that story, maybe?
No, I did not. I think I still have his email. I could probably reach out.
Do you think I could pass it off as my own?
No, I would suggest you don't do that.
Right,
because I'm already doing that to you, Harper. Come on.
I'm already sniping your stuff. If we steal everyone else's,
I feel like it's a real self-report.
it's an own
God
goal.
damn it. Yeah, no, but okay, so at the end of it, we read through it. She handed mine back to me, and I was just like, oh, what did you think about it? It's just this, I think your writing is very pedestrian. And like I could feel my soul leave my body.
That's so fucked up for her to say.
It's like some sort of meme where you just like I'm suddenly I'm like blurry, or I'm like there's some sort of after effect on me. Like what did you say?
Yeah, just a very much you're like, oh fuck, why is this dagger in there? What do you want next? It's going to be like, yeah, your writing's pedestrian, and I thought like thematically very shallow.
Yeah, exactly.
And like your word choice was kind of pedantic.
Yeah.
Just like the worst fucking like such a like a light little insult or just a light little criticism that will just live for you the rest of your life, and it has for me. I don't think I've been able to write a single like sentence without ever thinking about that girl. And it's gonna follow me for my life.
There's a Family Guy bit like that where they were like critiquing Brian's writing, and she was just, well, I don't know, Brian, it's kind of hackneyed and stilted. That's so funny.
In fairness, Brian Griffin did write the book From the Speed of Love. So.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I remember that was the title of the dude. McFarlane is a funny motherfucker.
He's funny.
It was faster than the speed of love.
Oh my God.
What a perfect joke.
If McFarlane wants, he can be very fucking funny, but it's like half of his comedy is like, you remember the Power Rangers? Those were sick.
Yeah, he's definitely that sort of Gen X memorial sort of humor where just like we were kids once, right?
Holy crap, Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember RoboCop?
RoboCop was kind of fucked, right? He shot that one guy in the dick.
Oh my God, it's Freddie Mercury from the band Queen.
That's a pretty good impression there, I will say.
Holy fuck.
It's building on me. No, but yeah,
I'm getting fucked in the ass by Robert Loggia.
I mean, Brian is supposed to be like his self-insert, and I fucking love the fact that he's just insufferable.
Yeah, he made him insufferable after a while. That or the writing staff did, because they just couldn't stand
It
him.
used to be a self-insert for his like politics. Then he realized he's just making people hate him, so he just like really went hard into that.
Yeah.
Well, I know he doesn't write the show anymore. He like is just a voice actor and producer. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they let the interns handle that.
But I also
We're
think,
just waiting for him to leave to write Brian as insufferable.
but I also think it takes like an actual person, like a real like someone who's like is willing to like, oh yeah, I'm gonna voice these characters, and this character is shitting on me.
It's incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's some people who aren't warm on Family Guy, and it's not the best, let's be honest, but it had a lot of moments and a lot of staying power, and it is interesting that it's now over and Simpsons is still going on.
Family Guy's still happening.
I despise The Simpsons. Is Family Guy still getting made new episodes?
Yeah, Family Guy's still happening.
I thought it got canceled.
No, it got canceled in 2003 and then came back in 2005.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. No, it did not get canceled. American Dad is also a show that he's still doing. He's also got The Orville, and I'm sure he's got one or two other shows that we don't talk about.
Okay. I guess I'm going crazy because was there a discussion?
Well, I think here's the thing. You had a Vietnam-style flashback to when that woman told you that your writing was pedestrian.
Oh, that's right. Malcolm, you're not getting out of this.
No, I know. One that really hurt me. I mean, I've got one that like made me so angry in terms of like just I thought how stupid it is. So like from a writing perspective, Sasha, cut all that. I'm gonna redo this part.
Please, thank you.
Because Robert fucked up.
I know.
Even though we're on single track recording, he just got out your interruption.
Well, $4 have been deposited to your account.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, great. But yeah, no. So I have a comic. It's a short comic that I wrote. It's going to be an anthology from Odyssey Comics coming out early next year. like in 2023. And I initially wrote and I was producing the comic for a different anthology. So this is like for an anthology. And the editor of the other anthology, an anthology I will not name because I will not give them any fucking promo.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
gave me, it was 2 editors, and they gave me the series of the most baffling and confusing notes that I think anyone's ever received. They were so baffling that I showed them to Harper and Robert, and they couldn't make sense of what was happening.
Yeah. It was a whole fucking saga going on about that thing because, we've had this workshop that we do before. We've been doing it for a while before the podcast and just comparing writing, sort of encouraging each other and critiquing. And it's been going really well.
We jerk each other off in a verbal effluvia. We don't get anything productive done. We just suck each other's cock.
Exactly. It's a big old slurp fest. But when he finally wrote his piece, which is Malcolm, do you want to say the name of it, or do you want to keep it up for?
I gotta hold it for now, just because the anthology hasn't officially announced.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I can't do the name of it. But what I will say is it's a sci-fi story. That it's for a science.
It's a media story, actually.
I think you mean a modern cultural touchstone.
It's a media story. No. You have this
this
completely backwards. The critic was very specific. He said that this is a media story. It is not science fiction. This. Have you folks out there in podcast land ever read a quote unquote media story filled with quote modern cultural touchstones end quote? If you have, I would love to read it, and I will show you fire starting material.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is that they just had such inconsistent things, and they were just like making up what your piece was.
Yeah, they just didn't like you.
Oh my god!
No, what was the wildest about it is that the notes made no sense. They called it a modern cultural touchstone, which I asked them what that meant, and they didn't respond.
It's illegal in the Philippines.
Yeah, they then said that I wrote a science fiction story that they dubbed a social media story, which is not a thing. That's not a genre.
No,
it doesn't exist. Like Harper had a better joke, so we could cut this part out. But
all right.
No, it's fine. Yeah, but it didn't make any sense. And then they got angry that you weren't listening to their notes, and they were just like, "Oh, well, you can't be in this anthology."
Yeah, so
toddlers taking home their basketball.
What's hilarious is so we get to a point where I go, fuck it, I'm not even going to listen to your notes because your notes are like, they're changing so much. They are in ways that like don't make sense. Like every time I would bring in a new draft of the script, they would come in and just be like, oh, well, what if we did this, this, and this? And I'd be like, no, we're not going to, because they would just change it. They're like, we need you to dive deeper. I'm like, this is a short comic that's 6 pages long. Like we can't. There's not more. There's not more.
Yeah. What do you want?
I'm not sure the Lee Harvey Oswald scene is necessary.
And what's so funny is, so I do it. I have the artist who drew it does an incredible job. I'm going to shout Ben Basil, incredible artist. I make it, and at some point they don't hear from me, and I get a message from one of the editors, and she goes, I just wanted to ask, like, has this been like a good experience for you? And I just go, no, this has not been a good experience.
How could it?
Why, like, would you say, like, this has been like easily the most frustrating editorial experience of my life? Like, I've had like good editors and bad editors, but this is like they're the worst of the worst. And then they go, I present the short. Initially, this anthology was with a bunch of people that I like knew from some writing classes I did. And so initially they start going, where's Malcolm's piece? Like Malcolm, we all like read his script, like where did it go? And the editors are getting really cagey. They're like, oh, we don't want to say it. We want like, we're not, because they haven't told them that they were like fucked up by being like the dickheads. Because that's the one thing I gave them. I was like, I'm not gonna like basically just shame you in like our Slack channel.
Yeah, you're not gonna go in and start turning over tables or anything. You're gonna respect, their actual anthology itself. But
yeah, I mean, and there's some good stories in the anthology. I just, because of these editors, I can't promote the anthology. But
well, they're missing out on free publicity as well, so it's really their L to take.
Yeah, we could have brought dozens to read the anthology.
Think of all the Seinfucks out there.
Yeah,
okay?
the Seinfuckers.
Is it Seinfucks or Seinfuckers? Did we decide that?
Well, there was an intro that plays at the beginning of this episode where we have input from a brave fan in the Great White North who recommends that we just call the audience Seinfucks. And to that, I offer my sincerest thanks and wish you a very safe travel in what is apparently your large fleet vehicle.
True. It sounds like he took the video or the audio in a some sort of bulldozer.
Yeah. I'm sure running drugs and guns over the border pays quite nicely, and you gotta listen to things every now and then.
Wrong border.
No, it's the right border. He's bringing guns up there to Canada. He's liberating you.
He's bringing cheap dental care up there is what he's bringing.
He's a modern.
We already have cheap dental care. We don't, because we don't pay for our.
That's not true.
Yeah, but do you have cheap Vicodin?
I go to the hospital. I go like, hey, I'm in pain, and they just go, yeah, I hear your pills.
Here's your fucking Tylenol 4.
God damn it, here's your Tylenol 4.
I'll going back to the story. So I ended up, they go like, where's the story? I just share it with them. And luckily at the same time, there was another anthology, this Odyssey Comics one. It's called Critical Mass. I can at least say the name. And I submitted it to them because I was like, fuck these guys. Like, because they had like, I shared them the story. I'm like, I finished it. Because one of the things I had also done was like, after a certain point with the notes, I'm like, I'm just going to make this. Like, fuck these guys.
You probably shouldn't have waited as long as you did.
Yeah. And then luckily, so I send it to this other anthology, and the editor gets back to me within 3 hours. It's like record time.
Yeah, it was like same day, same everything.
Same day. And then he goes, love it. This is exactly what I want. This is such a great sci-fi story. And I was like, fuck you guys on the other anthology. Pieces of shit.
Yeah, well, actually, we didn't even say why they ended up denying you, because they claimed that it wasn't a sci-fi story.
They said it wasn't sci-fi. You really got to read this thing to believe it, folks. It is sci-fi through and through.
And when it comes out, when it's closer to the time, I'll be promoting it a little bit here. We'll have some links to where you can buy it.
Can we get the bump up for Critical Mass? Huge ups for Critical Mass, boys. Check them out.
Yeah, Critical Mass published by Odyssey Comics. So I just want to give them the shout out for being good at what they do.
Yeah, we'll have the editor run over the sequence.
Yeah, reasonable people that actually want good creative work rather than, or hung up on their own egos. Their own incompetent ego, by the way. It's like, some people talk about like, oh yeah, people have an ego, but he's good, he's talented. Yeah, these guys were like first-time editors, and they're dumb as shit.
Is this a Kanye West excuse?
It's funny. I've had a similar situation once before as well, where I used to work at a improv theater, and I was a performer there. But there was a period of time when I wasn't getting, in my opinion, I was not being cast enough. And I was kind of getting frustrated by that process. And I was like, what's going on? I'm going into these rehearsals, and audiences seem to really enjoy me, but I guess the artistic director just had it out for me. And I finally go and have this sit down with her. It was supposed to be a one-on-one. She, unbeknownst to me before I show up, forwarded my email to ask for a meeting, and then brought in 2 other people. So it becomes this 3-on-1. And they were like, oh, Malcolm, you're not because I was a comedian. I'm not a professional actor. I'm not a trained I went to the conservatory program. I went to for acting and musical theater.
Classical
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were ragging on me for an hour about how I was like, you're not theatrical, you're not an actor, you're not this, this is why you're not getting this.
How dare you believe you have any right to our gilded theater?
Can you imagine them? black clothing, ruffle coming out of the lapel, the Hamlet skull in their hand. You are not an actor.
You foul knave.
Yeah, now you say that you are an actor. Who is this skull of then, poor fellow?
Yeah, but go on.
It's Yorick.
Anyway.
And so, yeah, they kept calling me on it. Like they said, I was not theatrical, not an actor. What was funny is this was a time when I had just gotten my first agent, like for a commercial agent. And there was there was a big commercial campaign that was like auditioning at the time. And it was for Hulu. It was literally like when you would go into the room, it was like huge campaign, like a big deal. Like this is a big US campaign. And so I don't know, I was literally like a month into audition. Like I had like no idea what I was doing. And to my shock, well, not to my shock, but like just to my joy, I saw some of them. They were in the auditions to go audition for this commercial. Like a couple of people, like the artistic director, who I want to put it at this point, I'm 30 years younger than these people as well. Like I'm 30.
And they're still auditioning for the same stuff.
They're still auditioning for these commercials. And I'm like, just walked into the room. And I remember once in the audition, the first audition, this woman who was working at the company was like, "Why are you here? You shouldn't be here. Like, why are you?" And it was super weird. I was like, "What the fuck are we? What are you doing?"
It's like a nightmare.
It was like a nightmare. I go into the room, crush the audition. Like I felt pretty good. Like I was getting laughs from the crew, like from everyone, and then get the call back. Great news. I booked the fucking commercial.
Nice.
And they probably didn't, yeah.
And they did not. None of them did. I was the only one who booked it. And it was the greatest feeling to walk back in and be like, they were asking me for availabilities for like a day, and I had to shoot this commercial over like 2 days, I want to say. And they were like, "Oh, so like you said you can't like make these days," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I booked that commercial." The look on their face when that happened, I was like,
"Oh, buddy!"
Like I felt so good. I was like, "Fuck you guys for saying I'm not theatrical, you motherfuckers."
Yeah, it feels
Let's
really
just
good.
say they probably had a very hefty night of drinking.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, drinking, doing all the drugs.
Mid-30s prima donnas criticizing your fucking improvisational act.
No, not mid-30s. We're talking
mid-50s.
Think like early 50s.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Or late 40s, early 50s, and at the time I would have been like 23 or like maybe 24.
Malcolm, darling, if you'll allow this old dame to give you some pointers.
You suck, Malcolm. You fucking suck.
Get out of the business.
Quit the business.
You should quit the business now.
I mean, there's nothing.
I'm going to land this frog commercial, Malcolm.
God damn it. Do you remember that one Pepsi commercial with, was it Kendall Jenner who was handing out Pepsis to cross the picket line?
She walks through a totally not BLM riot or protest or whatever.
Yeah, protest.
No, that would have been the Ferguson riots at that point. Like, I don't think they were doing.
Yeah, the
So
big
good.
Ferguson protest
So
riots that happened.
This is the most tone
But
deaf
she
shit.
hands them out to the Pepsi, but instead it's just frog. It's Malcolm handing out the frog across the protest line.
Malcolm has to look exactly like Kendall Jenner did in the commercial as well.
Like a wig and everything. It's the exact same outfit, but it's just Malcolm 6'6".
It's like a Killzone fucking like Orwellian dystopian future soldier he's handing the frog to. Like more machine than man.
Yeah, it's like a RoboCop situation.
Yeah, exactly. Crushes it in his hand and shoots him.
And then they like grab it, they drink it, and then they just beat him to death.
Yeah, he opens his heart plug and pours the frog in and seals it back up and starts beating the fuck out of Malcolm.
Yeah, just like everyone, like it turns into like fucking, oh my god.
It's
just
great.
violence.
A beautiful commercial, and I'm gonna take
This is
that.
the most violent commercial you've ever seen.
I'll take that to our soft drink sponsor, Frog, and see what they
Exactly. Like no other commercial, let alone a soft drink commercial, is going to have somebody's eye pop out of its socket after Seagal is crushed by the yoke
Wait, did you say Seagal?
of the military police.
Wait, you say Seagal?
Steven Seagal is going to be in the commercial?
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing, revolutionary.
Yeah, first of all, yeah. I mean, Steven Seagal, is between either the worst actor ever or one of the
he's pretty
greatest.
bad.
He's
But he's just-
literally his entire production company is a front for money laundering.
I don't do any wrestling. The wrestling's fake. My judo flips, however, are very real.
I love it. Apparently, Steven Seagal is widely considered the worst host in SNL history.
Oh, that's right.
Did you watch that episode?
I've watched clips of that episode. That episode is fucking crazy. Like
You can't find it anymore. It's not on like Peacock or anything.
Yeah, I know, but I want to say this is not my story, but I did hear the story where Steven Seagal was doing he was filming some movie and a director came over to him. This is a recurrence because I know actually another story of this that happened, but this one's funnier, so I'm saying it. And he goes, they're like shooting on this houseboat, and the director is like, "Hey, I just want to like go over the blocking just to make sure that you know like where you should go." And Steven Seagal is at that point where he's just like, "I don't do blocking. Like I'm better than that."
Oh,
is
yeah,
like,
that's right. I know the story.
and the guy goes like, "Okay, I'm not getting paid enough to fight, like to argue with you, man." like the director knows this movie's shit already because he's working with Steven Seagal.
Yeah, it's got Steven Seagal in it.
And so they go and like the scene is that they're in the houseboat, and then he just has to like basically walk off camera, except there's a door, and Steven Seagal does the scene, and then he opens the door, walks out. Immediately, guess where he walks into? Right into the fucking water.
Yeah. He was supposed to go out the left door, but he ended up just going out just the first door he saw, and he just like drops off the side of the boat.
No one stopped him. They were just like, I hope he does it.
Yeah, well, that's it. And then apparently it was like, because his hair's super dyed and everything, all the dye was coming out in the water.
Ew.
I also know another story where an actor friend of mine was he did a part in this TV show Steven Seagal did. I think it's called like True Justice. Yeah, I think it's True Justice.
That does sound like a Steven Seagal TV
Which it turns out True Justice is just a string of like straight to DVD movies that like all feature the same character, and then they were like, I guess we can cut this into a TV show. Like,
yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean, it's kind of Jack Reacher syndrome where it's just like a bunch of properties on sort of the movies, and therefore just make a show out of it. Very easy procedurals. It's funny how you can make those novels into that.
I actually, I didn't want to bring this up, but Steven Seagal does come out here from time to time, and
in Arizona, yeah.
I saw Steven Seagal at a grocery store in Phoenix yesterday. And I told him how cool it was to meet him in person, but I didn't want to be a douche and bother him and ask him for photos or anything. He said, "Oh, like you're doing now?" And I was taken aback, and I was like, "Huh?" And he kept cutting me off, and he was going, "Huh, huh, huh," and closing his hand shut in front of my face. I walked away and continued with my shopping, and I heard him chuckle while I'm walking off, So when I come to pay for my stuff, I see him trying to walk out the doors with like 15 Milky Ways in his hand without paying. And the girl at the counter was very nice about it, professional. She was like, "Sir, you need to pay for those first." And at first he kept pretending to be tired and not here. But eventually he turned back around and bought them, brought them to the counter. And when she took one of the bars and started scanning it multiple times, he stopped her and he told her to scan each of them individually to prevent any electrical interference. And then turned around and winked at me. I don't even think that's a word. He said like interference.
Interference.
After she scanned each bar and put them in a bag, she started to say the price. He kept interrupting her by yawning really loudly.
Is this a real story?
I don't think this is.
I really saw him.
Yeah, but yesterday.
Yesterday.
Just so happens that Steven Seagal is in town on the week we're recording this.
Well, it's funny you should ask that because I also saw Kanye West at a grocery store yesterday.
You try to walk out with 15 Milky Ways too.
Yeah, that's a classic. If anyone hasn't heard that one before.
Yeah, it is a classic.
It is a classic.
If you haven't heard that one before, welcome to the internet. Hi.
Yeah, nothing's real.
Yeah, nothing's
real. Are you
real.
above the age of 50? Wow.
Good job. How'd you find yourself here? That's crazy.
How'd you get here? You're not supposed to be here.
You're supposed to yell at your TV?
Go back onto Facebook and MSN where things are safe for you.
I think my favorite bit about Steven Seagal, the big thing that it's not my favorite bit, but the most like funny and / fucked up bit, which is like, my kind of humor, is the fact that he was just really, really adamant that he wanted to like have a sketch where he was raping a cast member on SNL.
Oh yeah, that one was
Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
Basically, it was he played a hypnotist. I think he was a hypnotist who like would go to a doctor and then be like, "Oh, I'm not feeling very," or to have this woman who like came to him and was like, "I'm not feeling very well," and basically hypnotized her to have sex with him.
Just like,
and then people are like, "What's the joke?" There's no like, "What's the punchline?" And it's like, well, it's
The
she's
joke
hot.
is that I'm raping her.
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, and instead they were like, no, we're not doing that.
Fuck it. He's like, I'm not gonna do the show unless you let me rape her.
You mean in the sketch, right? Yes, in the sketch.
Yeah, ironically enough, they were like, you can't do that, but then they allowed him to do the craziest like protect the environment sketch where he just beats up a bunch of people.
Yeah, where he's just flipping people on stage.
Yeah, there's no cast member in that
Jesus.
sketch. He's just like, because they're all stuntmen, and he's just like talking to the camera, and then he's just flipping them up these stunt guys over on the tables.
God damn it.
It's the only sketch of that episode worth watching, because you're just like, it really ends with him being like, protect the forests. You're like, what?
Like somehow the most 90s thing in the world.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
It's a very funny in my mind of like being ironic, but it just doesn't work because it's him and he's not a funny person.
What is his actual martial art?
He doesn't do a martial art. He does like a martial art equivalent of pro wrestling where someone will grab his wrist and then take a bump for him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what that's actually called.
Aikido or something? I don't remember.
Aikido.
He's a 7th Dan black belt in Aikido.
Not real, for anyone wondering.
Yeah. It's a completely fake stunt, sort of.
And according to his Wikipedia, he began his adult life as a martial arts instructor in Japan and eventually ended up running his father-in-law's dojo.
In Aikido, right?
What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean he began his adult life?
He came out the womb as an adult, essentially.
But the big thing was that he was a busboy, or he was a dishwasher, and he was just training people in like the restaurant that he was working at how to like do Aikido, and then just like somehow in the 80s, early 80s, became a movie star from that, because it didn't take a lot back then.
No.
You could just be like, everyone was so like drowned in sort of martial arts Asian mysticism that just some random busboy is somehow like a modern star, or like just slingshot to to fucking fame, because he could just like flip guys kind of fun.
If you go on the Wikipedia for Steven Seagal's first movie, Above the Law.
Of course.
He, in the production notes, it goes, "It has been reported that Seagal was asked to make the film by his former Aikido pupil, Agent Michael Ovitz, who believed that he could make anyone a movie star."
Well, I guess he was right.
Oh, God damn it.
And you know what his belief was correct.
The worst part is that he was right.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because you look at the director of this movie, Andrew Davis, ended up directing like The Fugitive, like that, and Holes, and like Collateral Damage, like some really good movies.
Yeah.
And then Above the Law also features like actresses like Sharon Stone's in the movie, Pam Grier's in the movie. Like you actually have like John C. Reilly's in the movie, like it's one of his first roles. Michael Rooker's in the movie. Like you have legit actors in this movie, and it's fucking Steven Seagal's the lead.
Even Seagal, who a week ago was washing dishes at a restaurant and then teaching Aikido part-time.
He was teaching Aikido. Having just moved back from Japan.
Lord.
I don't believe that man stepped a foot in Japan. I think that's a lie.
Yeah, it's really, well, to learn Aikido, you have to be in Japan.
Yeah, well, according to the Wikipedia page, he goes, as a teen, he spent much of his time in his garage listening to loud rock music. While working with a friendly old Japanese man at a dojo in Garden Grove, he was encouraged to visit Japan. Subsequently, in 1971, he moved to Japan.
Oh my God.
He was only there
That's
for
right.
2 years. Like, that's the
Wait,
other thing.
wait! Isn't that just the story from Karate Kid?
Wait a
Isn't
minute.
that the story of Karate Kid though? Like he isn't in the second one. He and Miyagi go to Japan.
Yeah.
Oh my! He just ripped up the Karate Kid for his backstory.
He's like, the Karate Kid is based on my life.
Oh my god!
I'm the Karate Kid.
He's a guy who would be great in the Cobra Kai show. Like, put Steven Seagal there for an episode.
No,
And just like,
I don't want to see Steven Seagal in anything.
That's fair. Yeah.
well, you don't want to see the man
Jesus.
with the blackest hair you've ever seen in your life as how old is he?
As a 8-year-old.
He's a 70-year-old man. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
What's with the horror movie that they're doing about Barney these days? You see this?
Is there actually a horror movie about
I thought
Barney?
so. It's like some sort of Peacock documentary.
Oh, that's a crime documentary, which I'm fascinated by.
Is the I love you, you hate me one?
Yeah, I love you, you hate me. What's that about?
I don't know.
Well, this has been a terrible jumping off point. I was hoping at least one of you.
All
would
right,
know.
you know what? I'm going into my segment. I'm fuck it. You're on it.
Fuck your thing.
Well, hey, fair enough.
Listen,
I'm just trying to get us off Seagal.
I haven't seen the I Love You, You Hate Me show, which is a Hollywood Reporter describes it as unpersuasive Barney documentary.
That's awesome. Have you seen? Speaking of like horror movies created from beloved children's IP, which didn't actually exist
The
here.
Winnie the Pooh one is what I was thinking of.
Did you see Of Blood and Honey?
No.
Oh, it's basically just Winnie the Pooh, but he's a slasher killer. It's so bad.
I do kind of want to see it. It looks terrible, but interesting.
Oh, it's twice as awful as you think it is. Like just like when you go in, certain things like it'll always take twice as long as you think it will, even if you account for how long you think it'll take with that barrier. That's the same thing with this movie where you think it's going to be bad, and even if you allow for a lot of being surprised about how bad it is much worse, and nothing can prepare you.
I felt that way 100% about Smile. Did not like that movie.
Oh yeah, that was bad too.
I think I talked about that last week. It doesn't matter.
I don't remember you talking about Smile, but I haven't.
Well, I'll say this real quick.
You can say whatever.
Have you seen Smile, Malcolm?
No, but I'm also not like jonesing to see it.
All right. Well, I won't spoil anything for you. I didn't like it.
Yeah. It was based off of.
You'd love it if it was called Frown.
Frown.
Yeah. That would be actually a little bit creepier, I think. What's your segment?
Yeah, my segment. I gotta bring the energy.
And bring the Reddit page up.
All right, it's not Reddit.
Yeah, what are you reading today from Reddit, Malcolm?
This isn't Reddit. I'm going to the second best website on the internet, urbandictionary.com.
Oh god damn it.
I'm gonna give you a word, and what I want from you is to tell me what the definition of this word is. These are words.
Guess the definition of these terms.
Give me the definition. If you want to try to spell it, you can, although some of them are not words, they're phrases.
Okay.
And then I'll tell you what's written, what the sample sentence they use is, and also sometimes who submitted it.
Okay.
I will say this right now. I might completely embarrass myself, but you are giving this quiz to two terminally online people.
Well, that's why I'm doing it. I want to see how online you are. I want to see how terminal your diseases are.
Well, okay, go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
The first word is nutterflies.
So
I can use it in a sentence. I can also use it in a sentence.
Please.
All right. I really want to watch Brazilian Bang Bus, but I got nutterflies since mom will be home in 10 minutes.
okay, you're nervous to masturbate. That's pretty easy.
No, you're too nervous to masturbate because you're afraid you're going to get caught.
Yeah, it's the nervous feeling that arises when you want to stroke the salami, but fear that someone might walk in or come home.
Well, that's only encouragement for me.
God
All
damn
right.
it. God damn it.
Immediately, that was a killer joke.
I hate it because I just like harken back to any time I've ever been caught.
You've never done a stealth beat off in a Discord before?
No, we've had this conversation before, not on the podcast, but yeah, some guys do it.
Well,
I've never like when I've been in a Discord jerked off. Well, especially if anyone else is there.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not jerking it right now.
There's no reason to stealth beat on the Discord, right, boys? Especially not
No,
during game
definitely
night.
not.
Yeah.
Oh, I will have to say though, I did fail No Nut November.
Hey.
It was a long,
Fucking
hard
loser.
battle.
What a fucking loser. Let's just say
Failure.
failure.
I'm sorry, you know.
Finish him.
I opened the window one day, a breeze came by, and I just started sweating.
You know, as they say, he got sucked for a handbag. So
Wait, I think it's time to play everyone's favorite game, Robert.
did you get
suck yourself?
God damn it, Harper. God damn it.
It's a spin-off.
Wait, gotta get the drum roll. No.
Oh. All right. Okay, so here's the second one.
Malcolm's trying to push it forward as best he can. And we're just
No,
stuck on
I
the
will
most
say,
obscene bullshit.
I will say one of the reasons I did fail because I did kind of not a lucid dream, but I probably had like one of the most intense sex dreams I've ever had in my life.
She had 3 heads, 6 racks.
And it was just like, you're like a weird amalgamation of all my past girlfriends. This is gonna be interesting.
And you're the size of a Coke can?
No.
Up my ass for you.
Don't bring that fetish shit. Don't put that evil on me.
Oh my god, a giant foot.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
Yeah, it's just it's like that 3-titted person from Total Recall.
God damn it.
The uniboob from Kung Fury.
3 tits, 2 pussies, 1 asshole.
What was the fucking? It's not Kung Fury. What was the movie?
Are you thinking of the Kung Fu cows?
Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Yeah, with the
yeah.
fighting cows.
So the one tit lady.
It's like a Dr. Seuss novel. 1 tit, 2 tit, 3 tit, 4.
But let me see them titties more.
What's the next Urban Dictionary term?
All right.
Okay, yeah, let's move on.
The next one I have is socketeering.
Socketeering.
That's got to be another jerk off thing.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Is it like the habit of using your sock as like your finisher in jerking it?
Socketeering. Is that jerking yourself off with a puppet, a sock puppet?
No, this one is a completely platonic act of intimacy in which one party possessing an outie belly button connects with another party possessing an innie belly button by inserting or socketing the corresponding body parts like matching puzzle pieces.
This is too much. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Do you remember that it was on America's Got Talent? They see the clip on YouTube. A lot of the 2 like really big fat guys like making sounds with their belly buttons. That's what that makes me think of.
Yeah, can you imagine the smell also? Disgusting.
Oh god damn it!
You got to make sure those are clean belly buttons.
Conceptualize the scent.
Just lit and dirty pennies.
Moving on.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad we didn't get that one. Honestly,
Although
we should have asked for a sentence. Damn it!
I've had a dream
Yeah.
similar to this.
You've had a what similar to this?
What was a dream? What was the? Why do they call it socketeering? That sounds like belly button docking.
Couldn't they just call it socketing?
I think it's supposed to be a version of socketing, but then it has that weird belly button aspect to it.
Your umbilical buddies.
All right.
Umbilical buddy. Okay, all right. What's the next one? We'll not get that point.
Yeah. So the next one is this is a phrase. Tell me what this phrase is. What this phrase means, which is, "Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining."
Oh, don't lie to my face. That's my favorite.
That's a classic.
And it's actually a perversion of the original phrase, which is "Don't piss down my leg and tell me it's raining."
Yeah, but what is that from? Was it a movie? Because he's talking about like a congressman, I think, in the original line.
I don't know.
All right, cut this one out.
No.
If any of you out there know where this line originated from and its history, we're very interested and won't go, "Oh wow, that's so cool," when you finish telling us. Penis.
Yeah.
Okay, Malcolm. Next question.
There we go. We're back on it, baby. Let's
All
go.
right. The next one is what is same shitting?
Can you use that in a sentence?
Same shitting. Oh, that's when someone's shitting in the bowl and someone's above you shitting in the tower.
What you mean? Someone's upper decking while you're taking a shit?
Yeah.
I think you just described upper decking.
Yeah,
No, it's both.
That's an act. That's like a sex act, some sort of creepy, perverted thing. Can you use it in a sentence? Because I don't want that to be right.
Yeah, the sentence that's provided is, I don't know if I want to say this out loud.
Say it.
Oh, goodness.
Say it.
All right. They basically say, "Hey, man, I have this bowl. We should be same shitting in it."
Oh yeah, it's totally my.
Yeah. So the thing is that someone poops and then you poop in the same bowl.
I think that is that right?
It's kind of right. It's that, and then it's also they have a second definition, which is repackaging the same shit and selling it off as something new.
Oh well, that's
Okay.
same old shitting. I think that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. But when I think of same shitting, I think I don't know. Is there a word for shitting in a bowl while someone's also shitting in the upper deck while you're shitting? Because there should be, and I don't know what it is.
All right, I got like two more. The next one is morning constitutional.
That's taking a shit.
No, I think that's jerking off first thing.
Ooh.
Maybe doing both at the same time.
What's the sentence? Before we lock in our answer, what's the sentence?
Maybe giving yourself a self blumpkin.
God damn it! I hate that. The imagery.
The sentence that is provided is Samuel took a magazine in to read during his morning constitutional.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's yeah.
Is it jerking off and shitting at the same time in the
It's
morning?
shitting in the first thing. It's got to be.
Yeah, it technically is both. You actually both have it correct. It's either most think of an early morning walk when hearing this term. The term morning constitutional can also be used to define what happens when someone has to take an early morning bowel movement or an early morning JO session.
Why not both?
Okay, nice.
Yeah, why not
Why
both?
not do all three while walking?
I think it's more associated with taking a morning shit, but I feel like people, people have to break No Nut November sometime.
I mean, people, it's
I
good
have to take a Robert Delilah sometimes,
It's good to get into habits. Like, you wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you jerk off. Hopefully in that order.
You ever hear that joke? They're just like men who dry their bottom half first and then use the same towel on your face. Why? Someone replies, it's just like, the towel forgets everything by the next day.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, this is, oh, God damn it.
All right. And then here's this one, last one. It doesn't have to be the last one, but this is, one more. Fail whale.
Fail whale.
Oh.
Sentence?
Seriously, what a fail whale.
Is it like a lol cow? Like someone who's destined to fuck up all the time that you have to make fun of because it's the only observable thing that you could possibly do with this person to interact with them?
Perhaps.
I mean, I don't know, honestly. This seems kind of...
This is mean-spirited.
Yeah, it's very mean-spirited.
Yeah, this one, this was submitted by Dingler Hangballs.
My cousin.
Well-known contributor to the Urban Dictionary.
Fail whale is an ignorant, obese person who does not know his or her place in life. It often shows by being the loudest, most obnoxious person in the room as an attempt to make up for his or her obesity.
Jesus Christ.
I feel seen. I don't like that.
I don't like it. The other version of it is the image of a whale being carried by a number of birds that appears when the Twitter website is overloaded or has failed. Fail whale appears to now have his or her own fan club.
Oh.
So it's both. And
so when Twitter finally goes down, we'll be able to see the fail
maybe.
whale.
We'll see the fail whale.
They replaced a lot of the art, so don't get your hopes up there.
Oh.
I know. Well, you never know. I mean, Elon Musk is bringing all the old stuff back.
Please remove this harmful slur from the Urban Dictionary website. Can we get a petition going?
Yeah, let's get a petition going.
For my thick brothers and sisters out there, specifically the brothers, because chances are you've grown a personality.
Jesus.
Don't let this get you down. You are funny as fuck, all right? And when you lift up your Hawaiian shirt to do that thing at the party, everyone loves that.
You are loved. You are appreciated.
You are loved. You are appreciated.
You are funny. You are.
My stepbrother knew somebody in high school, and he said that he would get down on himself sometimes. So what he would do is he would leave himself voicemails. So he'd call himself, and he did it in front of him, and he was just like, "You matter," and hung up.
Oh Jesus! I thought he was gonna go like a little funny with it. It's like, "Hey there, stud muffin, looking good."
No, very serious.
He's just like, no, like an actual like existential fucking like.
Can you imagine being in the place where you need to hear that voicemail? It's just like it's someone in a monotone. You matter. You're just like, that's right.
You matter.
I'd probably cry. Like if I like forgot I had sent that.
Yeah, the dementia.
And I'm in like a place to fucking like hear that or to need to hear that, I'd probably cry.
Unreal.
Yeah, you're just like all this like these tears just streaming down your face. You're just like, oh my god, I do matter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that would be great.
What can I get you today at Taco Bell?
I'm just like, I'm in the middle of Taco Bell. I'm about to order something.
You matter.
Can I please get a Choco taco? We don't have this.
Just start playing the voicemail.
No, I'm sorry, we don't sell those anymore.
breathing very heavily, almost falling, playing the voicemail on repeat.
You matter.
You matter.
Just a lot of
matter.
You matter. You matter.
God damn it.
Just like the Taco Bell cashier's
Just
freaking out.
fetal on the floor. I'm like blocking traffic.
That's awesome. Did you have a seg this week, Robert? Or are you bitching out?
Oh, I'm terrible. Yeah, I don't. I'm extremely hungover. That's probably something we should talk about. And I did not prepare a proper sesh.
Can you perhaps look? Everyone's clamoring for it. Okay. Could you maybe do a bit that you do at the open mic?
Oh, God damn it. Is there a good one? And I mean, I already told the sock bit. That's probably honestly like it's a good bit.
It's your best bit. All right. Yeah. No, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's your bad bit. Yeah, best bit. It's over. High point. It's never
High
getting
point
cut
for
either.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it is kind of surprising how much actual good press I've gotten from that fucking bit.
It's a really fucking funny bit. What's the problem? I'm asking for something original here. It's hard to come up with material. I understand because all of my stuff is like jokes that are intentionally not good, like the ketamine cowboy joke.
Yeah, but I mean, I love it because, I do. And that's just my brain has been warped by comedy in that way. And that modern fucking meme culture has ruined my sense
That
of
modern cultural touchstone.
yes.
Yeah.
Like even just that, the fact that can make me laugh just knows that my sense for anything, my like hold on reality is fading very quickly.
Using my 5 minutes at open mic night to say the word doily over and over.
God damn it, stop it!
Hey, does anyone here have a doily? Silence. Okay.
Doily.
Doily. It's like
Doily.
you just stop hearing it as a word. It's just a series of sounds.
You have to say it. You have to keep saying it, even though you know it's not a word. You're like doily.
The guy running the open mic is like flashing the light, and you have no indication that you're getting off the stage.
He's flashing it so fast, you stroke out.
He just starts seizing on the stage.
That's how they really pull the curtain.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, I can say a bit. All right, so okay, Malcolm, you've heard this bit before because I tested it out on you. It's just like, how some guys get into like hiking or surfing because they want to impress women and then stick around because they enjoy it for itself. I did the same thing with left-wing politics. The only problem being is it doesn't work at all. Like, even in the times that it did work, we'd be in bed. Because collective ownership isn't sexy, we'd be in bed and she'd say something hot like, "Oh, this pussy's yours," and I'd be like, "Oh, technically."
Boo! Shut the fuck up!
Get the king, get him off the stage.
I did kind of fuck that joke up a bit because I forgot to say the collective ownership line directly after. Like, it didn't work.
Guys, I know I'm on stage right now. Can I repeat my joke?
No way. This is the podcast. There is no pressure.
Sweating profusely. Please, fuck, please.
This is why I didn't want to tell jokes.
This is awesome. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You should get a libertarian line.
It didn't work because collective ownership isn't sexy. There's
Yeah.
your fucking line, you bastard.
You got to get a libertarian line, but no one will understand it because they don't know what the NAP is.
Oh, I do have a libertarian follow-up to that joke. It's just like, I'm an anarchist. The only big major difference between anarchism and libertarianism is that we don't have weird hang-ups about the age of consent.
Yeah, they think it should be 13, and I don't think there should be one.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, if you ask any libertarian, what their thoughts on the age of consent is, and then they just crumble.
They always have one.
It's that or the roads. The roads is my favorite one.
Oh, yeah, we do. I think we did a pretty lengthy rant about the roads, didn't we? There's one thing this podcast has been consistent on is our vehement hatred and derision towards libertarians.
I'd just like to point out they're not real people.
Yeah, they're scum. They're scum.
No, yeah, they're not real.
They're not real, and they're
caricatures of humans. They're just
skin.
Yeah. You know what? I have more respect for a sovereign citizen than I do a libertarian.
They're the same people.
Well, okay, that's kind of like a pretty close Venn diagram.
Yeah, this is not a Venn diagram.
Yeah. I'm saying it's a sliver. They're still both, dirt on the bottom of my shoe, but
it's like a circle you're staring at cross-eyed almost, It's the same thing.
Because here's the thing. I can be entertained by a sovereign citizen. I can't be entertained by a libertarian.
You haven't talked to a libertarian, I can tell.
Like in the wild talking to a libertarian.
I live in a city that's, I don't think a libertarian could thrive in.
They could not survive. They'd see a homeless guy and they'd start seizing or something.
You don't have any anarcho-capitalists in Canada. I completely understand. And that's a good thing if you want to believe that. The thing is that I have argued with people who think that private courts and private judges would be a good idea. And I try to explain to them, what if you don't have more money than the other guy? And they're just like, well, then I failed in life, generally speaking.
I mean, that is kind of how a lot of people think. We're especially in America.
Yeah, that guy, Elon Musk.
Have you seen the quotes from the FIFA president? Right now, as we record, they're hosting the World Cup in
Qatar, right? Yeah.
After this, by the time this podcast comes out, the tournament will be over. But but there was so FIFA has been getting a lot of and this is rightfully so, a lot of criticism for the fact that they picked Qatar. And there's some really fascinating documentaries FIFA Uncovered on Netflix, and Johnny Harris has a really good series about how Qatar, this nation that only has 300,000 people, got the World Cup. But
very obvious bribery, and 3,000 people, laborers who were building this Coliseum, died.
Yeah, basically. But so the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, he was at a news conference today, and he was trying to he was being pressed by the press to be hey, so why Qatar? This is there's clearly a lot of human rights violations occurred. This is an odd country to do this in, but why Qatar? And his response is one of my favorites that I've seen in a long time. He just goes, "Today I feel Qatari. Today I feel Arab. Today I feel African. Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled. Today I feel like a migrant worker." He went on to say in Doha, "I know what it feels like to be discriminated. I was bullied because I had red hair."
Yes.
Oh, well, that's deserved.
He is Italian.
Infantino he says, "Europe can't give moral lessons to Qatar based on its actions over the previous 1,000 plus years."
Wait. He's just hiding behind the shield of 1,000 years of war.
Exactly.
Therefore, what I'm doing is not that bad.
Do you guys remember the Crusades or not?
Never forget the Crusades.
Awesome.
And then he goes on top of it. He goes, "There are 1 billion disabled people in the world and nobody cares."
He's right. That's crazy.
This is just insane. What about it?
Yeah, that's really what I expect to see from Formula One, not FIFA.
But then again, he did say, "Then again, I feel gay," and that's hilarious.
Yeah, the fact that he said, "Today I feel gay. Today I feel disabled."
Back it up for a second. Compared being African to being gay.
Today, I am a demisexual.
Oh, God damn it. The one joke is happening today. I feel like an attack helicopter. Yeah, we got there. We're good now. We've gone over that joke.
I don't think that joke's funny. Okay.
And then on top of it, he just goes, "Stop criticizing Qatar," and he goes, someone talks about Iran, and they go, "Are they all monsters?" And then goes and doubles down and says, "We should have a tournament in Iran."
Oh, Jesus Christ!
They're next.
I just want to point this out real quick, Malcolm. Real quick, I know that you smelled death on that line of thinking that we were about to go down, and that's why you jumped in there.
We were literally going to actually probably talk about something, a reasonable things, just like, bump the Babylon Bee isn't funny for doing the same joke over and over again about trans people.
Yeah.
So I was trying on socks at the Big Five.
Yeah,
they're not funny. Sorry, I have to take a call. So you two vamp. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Can I pull you
sure.
over here real quick? What's your favorite dinner food?
Honestly, I don't know. Chicken fried steak has been I've been craving it so bad recently.
That's a breakfast food, not dinner food. That's a breakfast food.
What? Well, okay, I guess. I've had it more for dinner, I think. We used to have spaghetti nights with chicken fried steak, and it was fucking great.
I don't know about that. That's like something that you have with to me, biscuits and gravy and an egg over easy or something like that. This is chicken fried steak food.
Well, I mean, different cultures. You're Polish, so
Wow. I don't see how that fucking matters.
Wow. You're bringing the Poles into this?
Yes, we are. Welcome back.
Haven't we been persecuted enough in the last 3 weeks?
Malcolm, what's your favorite dinner food?
Dinner food. That's a good question.
It's a fine throwback for those listening.
Yeah, I'm not listening through our TikTok account. TikTok is better than Vine.
We're hip. We're with the kids.
Vine doesn't exist. We can't even say which one's really better.
Listen, we don't know. We don't know if Elon Musk is going to bring back Vine. We don't know.
Guys, among us sus boys, put that like button on notice on site. Okay.
Yeah. We're Sussy Wednesdays.
No, stop. Hell take you both.
We do Sussy Saturdays and Bussy Sundays.
Oh, God damn it.
Yes. Bussy Sundays.
Yeah, and Cussy Mondays.
Is that the name of the podcast? But Jerry, it was Bussy Sunday.
No, we're trying to distance ourselves from that very fucking funny bit.
I think at this point the episode's going to be called Jerry, today I feel a little gay.
Wow. That's not bad. But we've gone from canceled to feeling a little gay.
Hold on. We just stepped over the line again. We need to apologize. Malcolm, can you please apologize for that insensitive comment you made about 35 seconds ago?
Yeah, hold on. Sasha, could you please, while he's apologizing, put over some soft, almost Kickstarter glockenspiel songs, sort of just the non-threatening music people put behind their YouTube videos when they've
Okay, I'm not saying any minors.
Then cut that, Sasha, and then put in some royalty-free country music.
some slight soft mandolin in the background.
Yeah, there we go. Go ahead, Malcolm.
Yeah, do your apology for that insensitive comment that you made, the disparaging comment
to the gay community.
Preview.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're sorry.
Oh, you're sorry, are you?
Well, outed.
Well, you're Canadian, so it doesn't matter.
I don't even understand what I'm apologizing for. I don't even know what I did.
Well, you said gay in a derogatory fashion about a minute and 35
I said
seconds
today
ago.
I feel a little gay. How's that?
You can just wake up and feel a little gay?
Yeah, you deserve that kind of representation. That sort
Malcolm, you milquetoast white piece of shit.
You cisgendered white man.
You fucking atypical beta hyphen omega.
This is going a little too close into brain cells.
Yeah, this is you sub-8 male.
You sub-8 male. God damn it.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys are #triggered.
Oh, he got me. He got me good. I'm now going to get the twit longer.
Here's why making chili and giving it to your neighbor is racist.
This will be so dated by the point it comes out, Robert. You can't drop that one. In a week, people will be like, oh, yeah.
I mean, people are going insane over Twitter on it for like the last 4 days.
For those who don't know, there is someone who lives in an apartment complex next to 3 dudes who just moved in, and their garbage is always full of pizza, and the Grubhub driver is always coming to her door instead of theirs. So she's like, I'm just going to cook them a meal as a nice gesture because I don't think they know how to cook. And Twitter, because Twitter is full of people who, A, can't pick up on social cues, and B, assume everyone is out to get them, immediately respond by saying that's humiliating and degrading.
Yeah, that's ableist. That's racist. They really brought out like every single thing they could think of when trying to attack this woman for doing something nice. Just being like bringing their neighbor chili.
They also said that she was encouraging patriarchy by making them food. Like she's just like keeping, like she's a modern domesticated 50s.
Yeah, and a bunch of people, the TERFs, all assume that she was trans, and then
that's great.
What are you even talking? I don't even understand what
you really haven't seen this.
The TERFs all assume she's trans, and the trans people assume she's a TERF.
and she has a pet pig, and she was getting death threats, and people were threatening to kill and eat her pet pig. It was bad.
My favorite Twitter interaction of all time is someone was getting doxxed. So like they showed the messages of the guy doxing him in the DMs before they made it public, and they're just like, I'm coming to your fucking house, you little bitch. See how tough you are on the internet. He's just like, oh, word, I'll have a meal with you. We'll see what you like. He's just like, fuck you, bitch. I'll feed you these hands. And he shits the back. He's like, would you like double-aught or buck? And he's like loading a shotgun. It's just like Twitter tough guys talking about.
God damn it.
So fucking awesome.
You know, another day fucking 6 million that, you know, Twitter is not, the internet is not the real life. It's not the real world. Go outside, touch grass, all that.
The whole touch grass thing has gone too far now that it's a status on Twitter.
Is it a status on Twitter?
Yeah, on Twitter you can select the status, like how you're feeling. Like that's the tweet and touching grass.
Shouldn't that mean you're like off Twitter?
Well, yeah. Well, you can touch grass and still have another hand on your phone, which is exactly what Elon wants you to do.
Well, I know what I want to be doing with my other hand.
Making chili for my neighbors.
So stupid.
Because I hate everyone. I'm trying to flex on them.
God damn it. Harper, do you have a segment, by the way?
I kind of did it at the beginning when I asked you guys what insecurities you have.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
We really are hungover.
I mean, this entire conversation's been kind of a blur.
I'll do a quick seg.
Okay.
No, you don't have
What's
to.
the most racist thing you can boys think of?
Get him out of here.
Okay, cut it there.
Oh, bro. Oh, Harper, what are we gonna do with you?
Well, I guess you're gonna have to make me some chili because I'm disabled.